For public health, the Zika virus have been causing commotion worldwide because of mainly the complication that could arise for pregnant women and also from some other conditions. We don't have the disease yet on island, but we do have the mosquito who transmit the disease. The Mosquito Research and Control Unit have been doing a great job on controlling the mosquito so far, but this is just one more thing that they can add to the arsenal to combat this mosquito. We have contacted our headquarters in WHO and PAHO, and they actually recommend the use of genetically modified mosquito for the control of the Aedes aegypti mosquito. The concerns are great about the disease itself, the Zika disease. We do expect the disease to reach our island. We don't expect a large outbreak. We managed to, before in the past, to control chikungunya and dengue. And like I said, in part to the great work of the Mosquito Research and Control Unit, and we expect that to happen again. Now with this new arsenal that we have, the genetically modified mosquito, I think the control is going to be even better. But we need to be prepared in case when the disease gets into the island. Yes, I do want to reiterate the importance of controlling the mosquito. If we eventually get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito, I don't have to worry anymore about Zika, dengue, chikungunya, and then I can deploy those resources to tackle other conditions, chronic medical conditions like diabetes and hypertension, that actually is causing a major burden to the Cayman Islands. Well, Zika, out of the three conditions, Zika, dengue, and chikungunya, Zika actually is the mildest of those conditions. The majority of the patients have no symptoms at all, and complications are rare, but complications can be devastating, especially for a mother expecting a child and the child develops microcephaly. Also for adults, they can develop a neurological complication like Guillain-Barré syndrome, and for that we need to be aware, even when the complications are not common, but they are very severe when they occur. And that's why we definitely need to keep control of this mosquito. Dengue is the most serious condition. It could be very serious, it could be lethal at times, and chikungunya, it doesn't have a high fatality mortality rate, but it can be very, very, very limited, and patients have pain and joint pain that could last months. And they can go to work, they can do their regular activities because of the pain. So these diseases are actually a problem worldwide. Many people around the world die daily because of complications of either dengue or chikungunya. So we definitely need to try to control the mosquito and try to prevent an outbreak from happening in our island. Usually, for any infection disease, patients who have a compromised immune system or a weaker immune system, to say that way, will be a higher risk of complication, and that will include the very young and the elderly population. Also, patients with immune disease who are immunosuppressed, like HIV and other conditions, are also a higher risk. In the particular case of Zika, the higher risk actually will be for pregnant women, and not for her, but for the kids that during the pregnancy, especially in the first trimester of pregnancy. So that's why people need to be very, very careful about avoiding mosquito bite, and also to try to prevent mosquito from breeding. The public health department, we do have a surveillance system in place, and we maintain constant surveillance, daily surveillance of any infectious disease, but particularly for these three diseases. We report to CARFA and to PAHO on a weekly basis or cases or suspected cases, and then our samples are collected here and they're sent to our reference lab in CARFA, the Caribbean Public Health Agency in Trinidad, and then we get the result from them. We also inform the Mosquito Research and Control Unit as soon as we got a suspected case, and then they will deploy the staff to do any necessary measures that in the area of concern.
Well, this is the start of the rainy season for us, and the rainy season has started. which means the start of the mosquito season. And one thing that we're keeping an eye on at the moment is the prevalence of Zika virus in the region. As people know, Zika is spreading throughout the Americas and throughout the Caribbean, and we are currently at risk from a public health perspective of Zika being introduced, as well as chikungunya and dengue. And of course, this time of year, we will expect to see an increase in the mosquito that transmits all of these diseases, which is Aedes aegypti, commonly known as the yellow fever mosquito. And this mosquito is particularly difficult to control due to its specific biology and behavior. And one new technique that has come along that we have investigated is the use of genetically modified mosquitoes, which entails, in essence, it's the use of sterile male mosquitoes. The males have been rendered sterile genetically, so we don't have to use chemicals or radiation as in the past. And the principle is we release these males into the treatment area. They then mate with the wild females. And all those wild females are able to lay eggs, but all of the progeny, all of the offspring of those females will die. So over time, as you continue to release the male mosquito, the sterile male mosquitoes, you can see that the population, the wild population of Aedes aegypti, will decline. It is planned to roll out in an area of West Bay. We have two areas identified. One is the treatment area, and then there's one area slightly to the north to be used as a comparison. So there'll be no treatment there, but we will monitor the Aedes aegypti populations in both of those areas. It's an area, the treatment area is roughly 300 acres, and we are looking to protect around about 1,800 residents. We would hope to begin end of June or early July to commence the releases of the mosquitoes. We looked at a number of different options for this, the deployment of this operation. And West Bay figures highly for a couple of reasons. One, West Bay does have a high population of Aedes aegypti, the disease-carrying mosquito, and also we have had incidents of chikungunya and dengue in the past in West Bay. Now, that's not to say that we haven't had elsewhere. Georgetown is also another hot spot, but it will be easier to roll out the operation in West Bay on a smaller scale to begin with. We monitor that carefully, and then once we see the success and what the different variables are and how we need to perhaps alter things, then we can roll out further into West Bay and then into Georgetown and subsequent areas. No, this is no longer a trial. Trials have been done. So the experimental stage was done in the laboratory many, many years ago, and then into proof of concept and field trials. We conducted 2 field trials back in 2009, 2010 in East End. One field trial to demonstrate that the sterile males could in fact mate with the wild females, which we had to confirm first. And then the second trial was actually a pilot study to see if the technique could be made to work. And again, East End was chosen as an idealized situation, a relatively small area, not a particularly high population of Aedes aegypti, and then we used an area in Bodden Town as the comparison. What we saw in East End was that we achieved a much more significant suppression of the Aedes aegypti population than we had anticipated. We got something like a 96% reduction in the population there. we'd hope to see, after some time, after a few months, we would hope to see a significant reduction in the population of Aedes aegypti. We do have a public health situation here. We are at risk at the moment in Cayman from not only Zika but chikungunya and dengue also. So there is a public health imperative, and it's this one mosquito, Aedes aegypti, that carries all these diseases. So if we are able to use this tool, this new technique of sterile males, along with the other tools that we use against Aedes aegypti, it will mean that we are able to protect all the residents and, importantly, visitors that want to come to the Cayman Islands. We will be able to protect them better from these mosquito-borne diseases. The most common pest mosquito in Cayman is the swamp mosquito, we call it. Commonly known in the US as the black salt marsh mosquito. Aedes taenarynchus is the scientific name. It breeds predominantly in mangrove swamps, and it thrives in salt water, which Aedes aegypti cannot. The swamp mosquito emerges from mangrove swamps in vast numbers, and that's actually the mosquito that causes us the most work operationally, takes most of the budget and most of the resources. Aedes aegypti is smaller in scale in terms of population numbers, and the response, the operational response, is far different because it only occurs around human habitation. It only breeds and lives around humans. So it's only in residential areas. It's a very different prospect to control. Aedes aegypti is not native to Cayman Islands. It's an invasive species from elsewhere. It's originally from Africa, but it has spread around the globe. It is found all around the tropics, right around the world now, and poses a disease threat to millions of people around the world. Very importantly, one of the differences between Aedes aegypti and most other mosquitoes is that it is a day-active mosquito. It bites during the day and is active. It flies during the day. It is not active at sunset or before sunrise. Again, this is an important difference between this species and all other mosquitoes. So yeah, it is worth emphasizing that it bites during the day, usually in the late afternoon, but by sunset it's gone.